so we're starting off with our water. We're laying that down. You're going to apply the sky blue, bit of a deeper blue at the top of the sky, fading into a lighter blue, getting that wash effect in, putting a bit of dotting in, some darker blue at the top. Then we're applying a little bit of a kind of a light yellow color for our lighter shade in the background and a bit of the clouds. Now we're starting to fill in the landscape, very bright orange-red color to try and replicate those. I was going for sort of a classic Western painting, putting in some shadow. This is a bit of brown underneath the figure, a little bit of landscape, adding a little bit more of a highlight orange and yellow to kind of differentiate the different landscape. A bit more of a shadow with the browns in there. And now we're doing a bit of the distance, so we want a bit of atmospheric perspective. And so the shapes that are in the background, the further off mountains, are going to be a little bit lighter than the foreground. The foreground is going to be more saturated and more dark because it's closer, and then the further away objects are going to be a little bit lighter and less saturated. And I'm adding the little sort of hoof stomp cloudy things underneath the horse. Mixture of our oranges in the sky as well to kind of bring that orange color up into the blue sky. Adding some ridges to the mountains in the background with some highlights. And doing a bit more detail on the ground. The ground took me a little bit of while to figure out. I had some reference photos of the old Western paintings of that. I think it's Death Valley is sort of is this location. It's hard to see in the video, but I'm actually adding a bit of that deep blue that's at the top of the painting into there as well. Just to bring the colors of the sky and the ground into each other. You want to mix a bit of the red into the sky and a bit of the blue into the ground as well, just to bring all of those colors around. And there's sort of like a strata effect, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's sort of like these lines in the landscape down there. I'm up in Canada, so I guess there's places in Canada that look like this too. One day maybe I'll do some mountains, some Rocky Mountains. So I lost a section of video here. Sorry about that. I did the cactus, or the cacti. Is it cacti, I guess? Yes. So now I'm just filling in the girl's skin. I'm adding a bit of her shadow. Make sure you know the direction of your light. The light in this case is coming from a lot of different directions, but mainly the light is, I'm putting the shadow on the left of the painting. Filling in the mouth a little bit, filled in the hair on the horse a bit. We're starting here we go. So here's the hair. So we have to do a flat color. So this is sort of the flat orange of her hair, and then we're going to add the shadow and the highlight later. Just doing little bit of more brownish red in the hair. So a little bit of browns now to add in those shadows. And a little bit of freckles too. Sort of a soft color on the teeth. You don't want to go too dark with the teeth, because then it just looks weird. Her shirt's going to be like the classic Western shirt, a bit of blue to match with the sky, but you want it to stand out against the sky, so it should be a little bit darker and the sky be a little bit lighter behind your figure if you're going to do something like that. Same color red for the scarf, classic cowboy scarf. Starting to do the hat as well. The different sections you should give different highlights to. The inside of the hat should be darker. The brim should be a little bit lighter. Adding a bit more darker tones to the shirt. A bit more darker tones to the tail on the horse. The mini horse is based off of Little Sebastian. For those of you who don't know, Little Sebastian's the town mascot in the show Parks and Recreation, which is my favorite TV show. Bit of brown in the horse now, as well as some darker shadows, darker browns. You can use black even, depending on how much contrast you want to use. A little bit of highlights. I'm using that sort of neutral kind of cream tone. Not quite white. You don't want to go too strong with the white. The cream tone is just perfect for this picture. We want it to be really warm, warm tones. White's a little bit too stark for this kind of painting. Just doing a little detail, adding a bit of darker tones behind so that the girl stands out. Her saddle will stand out against the horse to show that they're on top of the horse. Doing the hind legs now. And a little bit of the highlights to make the leg that's facing towards the audience stand out more. The hooves are a little bit of a gray color. Same kind of creamy tone for the highlights. Brown leather for the... I don't know what those are called. Are they just called cowboy pants? I have no idea. Her little cowboy boots as well. Now we're starting to add color to the saddle, which is another brown. And this is the part where I realized I have a lot of brown in this picture. So I did a little bit more of a reddish brown for the saddle. And now we're adding our details to it. It's sort of, it's like the embroidered saddles or the embroidered leather that has like the textures to it. Adding just a bit more shadow, and I'm using that blue again, the same dark blue from the sky, to add a little bit more shadow and bring that blue down from the sky into the rest of the painting. I believe I'm using the same for the scarf, same blue. I think I'm just adding some just little details, some darker shadows. This is one of the things when you're working on a painting is you want to, before you say I'm all done, just look over it, see if you can add a bit more highlights like I'm doing here, see if you can add a bit more shadow, just to pump up that contrast a little bit. I really like strong contrast, some people don't, but that's my personal taste, I guess. Yay, now we're doing the lines. The lines are my favorite part because it's the last step, but it really brings a whole piece together, I think, when you start adding the lines. I destroyed my really fine brush by accident right before I started doing the line work, so I have to buy a new one, but this is my second thinnest brush, and it's still not very thin. I would have rather have done something thinner, but you can see it's a little bit thicker than I normally do. But you can also see how, like, looking at the horse compared to the girl, how much stronger she looks. And just continuing to add some more detail to the saddle and finishing off the outline. And I'm not outlining the background because we want the girl and the mini horse to stand out against the background. And that's pretty much the whole painting there. Oh, we have to do the clouds. This is with pencil, colored pencil. I just thought I would do the same color. And of course, I like to let people know who made this painting. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, like. If you want to see more of my paintings, subscribe. And comment if you have an idea for something you'd like to see me paint. I do mostly children's illustrations, a lot of cartoony kind of style. And if you like this painting I did today, you can find prints for it in my shop. The link is in the description below the video. And maybe one day I will get some nice lighting for myself. Who knows what's going to happen. So thanks again for watching, everybody. And until next time, bye-bye.